Go, bro. We're live, bro. Like I said, man, I appreciate you so much for hopping on here. I know you're a busy man, man.
Course, brother.
So, to kick it off, man. I like to give people a little bit of background, obviously, on you. I know you very well. You're one of my closest friends, one of my closest colleagues. But maybe like a little 60-second rundown of kind of just where you're at now in life, man.
Cool. So yeah, my name is James Hernandez. Currently the CEO of a online real estate coaching business where we take realtors to develop their communication skills so they can have a full transformation and build the life of their dreams. So I'm running and operating that company right now with my partner Alexis Valadares. And it's been a journey, man. It's been a long way. But that's kind of where we're at right now as far as timelines go. Just started 2026, so getting ready to
Yeah,
take
man.
that to a whole nother level.
Yeah, man. So for you, I know you're kind of now transitioning into the CEO spot. Let's take a
Hmm.
few steps back, maybe, 2, 3 years ago. I know you were in
Sure.
production in Nashville. Kind
Yeah.
of what did that look like, and kind of how did you get from going to production, being a setter for the business that you're at now, to now
Yeah.
being the CEO?
Yeah, man. It's a crazy story. But really, the simple version of it is just showing up, bro, and just putting in the hard work in every day. So when I first got licensed, like most agents, I think do in our career, they get told to do a lot of things that don't make sense. They get told go do open houses, go door knock, go do your social, your sphere of influence, right?
Yep.
And man, I was 22 when I was
Okay.
first getting started, so I had no sphere of influence. I was a kid in high school who just brought his skateboard everywhere and just wanted to skate everywhere. So
Yeah.
like, no one really trusted me enough to, obviously sell the house.
Mm.
Um, had super long hair. My hair was like almost down to my shoulders. So door knocking was kind of out because I'd
Yeah.
show up and people would be like, "What kind of hippies at my door right now?"
100%.
Tried it, didn't work. Did open houses. I actually told my wife now, girlfriend at the time, Angie. I told her I'm gonna do an open house every single weekend until
Mm.
I get my first closing. And 6 months later, after doing an open house every single weekend, I still haven't even had as much as a buyer on a contract, which I think is a very similar story for a lot of people in this industry, bro.
Yeah.
And now what happened next was where the real cool stuff unfolds. Found Alexis, who's now my business partner. He was in the infancy of his career at that point. Maybe
Yep.
he'd been coaching for 5 months, maybe.
Okay.
And saw him on Instagram, and I had dinner. Bro, I had to fucking burp.
Good.
I had
Good.
dinner last night with someone, with a
Uh,
friend of mine, who's a realtor and who has been struggling a little bit to get his first couple deals on a contract.
mhm.
And he asked me, and I promise this all has a meaning. And he
You're
asked me,
good.
he said, "I can really see the hunger in you." And I said, "You know what, brother? It's not hunger.
Mm.
It's fear." I was deathly afraid of my life ending up like how it was.
Yeah.
Waking up at 5 a.m. and going to a car wash every single day. To be outside in 90-degree weather, man. To be outside when it's raining.
Yeah.
I'm in Tennessee. I have all the seasons. To be outside when it was 30 degrees, bro.
Yeah.
I was deathly afraid that that was what my life was going to look like for the next 60 to 70 years. That
Yep.
I was willing to do anything, even find some random person online, pay them money to get out of the situation, which I had never done before. I'm a very skeptical person when it comes to online figures and things of
Mm.
that nature. There is good reason to be.
100%.
And I was very skeptical, bro. But I was super scared, and joined Alexis. The very next day, I started making cold calls. I joined him on a Sunday, and then our first coaching call was Monday. He
Mm.
told me to quit my job. I quit my job immediately. No second guessing about it because he had what I wanted. And so why would I second guess his opinions?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So dropped out, quit my job right then and there. Called my boss, said I'm done.
Mm.
Very next day started making calls. And so how did we get here? Well, here's the short answer, Luke. It was been every single day showing up and putting one foot in front of the other. Whether it looked like full production where I was cold calling every single day, taking the action and moving the business forward, whether I was DM setting and it was sending out 100 messages every single day to try to move the business forward. It was continuously putting one foot in front of the other and moving forward, right?
Yep.
A lot of people I see and I meet, and I have a very blessed position now where I get to watch people have a full transformation inside of our academy. And those who have a less, optimal transformation, what tends to happen is like they stop putting the foot in front of the next.
Yep.
They maybe get a deal or two closed, or maybe they don't even get a deal. They just start to get the success and they start to get the feedback that what they're doing is working. And then what happens is they stop showing up every single day. So it's the truth, brother. And so that is the biggest thing that's got me to this position. I'm sure a lot of people look at me and say luck had a part. I don't really believe in luck. I think luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So I was extremely prepared every single day. I trained my ass off. I showed up every single day. And then when the opportunity to step into the next realm, which I always knew wasn't going to be production, which is why I love the Wolfpack so much, because I can actually build something that allows agents to be able to leave production as well. Because I knew I didn't want to be in production forever. I wanted to actually go on to be a team lead, a broker, and a coach, which again is amazing that we have a resource now that does that. And so when Alexis gave me the opportunity that said, hey, I want you to join my team, transparently at first I was against it because I wanted to do my own thing. And he said, well, we'll get farther faster together. And I said, okay, that makes sense. We will get farther faster together. And so joined him, started in a closing position, still had a lot of skills to develop when it comes to closing. You understand this as well, brother. Like real estate and online high ticket sales is two very different
animals.
Two different animals. And so had a lot to learn still. So ended up putting in one of the lower roles of our academy, which is Instagram DM setting. Now, I think it was very important still, because if you don't set appointments, then who's going to show up on the calendar to close?
Yeah.
But I treated it like my life depended on it, and that's truly because it did. Because I had put all my eggs in one basket per se, and I went all in, full tilt on every single thing that I did. And so now I'm all in full tilt on a new opportunity. Stopped cold calling, transitioned my skills from one place to the next, and had this staring back at me. So I had only one choice I could make. I could either keep doing it every single day, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the situation I was put in, or I could simply just turn around and quit. And so I just kept choosing every single day to show up. And then when the opportunity presented itself to become the operator, I was prepared because I had shown up. And then when the opportunity presented itself to become the CEO, I was prepared because I had shown up every single day. And I have continuously put myself in a little box where I'm more scared of going back than I am to push myself forward.
I think that's fantastic. I think you answered that question very well, man, taking us from point A to point B and where you're at now. And something I definitely want to ask you about, and it's something that you've shared with me that throughout our whole process of being in the trenches, is the valley of despair, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing that a lot of people are unaware of. I think people don't really understand how hard the process is, and kind of, you start here, you're super motivated, you start putting in that work, and then you start creeping down. You're still putting in work, but you're not seeing results. And then everyone gets kind of right here where everybody seems to quit, man. Everybody seems to quit. For you, why didn't you quit when you were here? You weren't seeing the results. You really didn't know where the next paycheck was going to come from.
Yeah.
Like, what kept you going?
Yeah. So I think there's three points to this answer, and I want to make it very tactical for people who are watching as well, so they can really take something away from this. The first thing that I did is kind of what I touched on before. I continuously put myself in a position where failing was scarier than showing up and doing the work every single day, and the uncertainty of not knowing when the next paycheck was going to happen. So that looks different for every person. For me, it was quitting my job, dropping out of college, no longer having any support from any of my family members as far as like monetarily, and getting married. Those were two things that happened to me quite literally over a 3-month span, and all of it was very intentional, because the worse my life looked on the outside, I knew the better I could perform. No money in, no degree, and now I have a family and responsibility to take care of as a man. Yeah. Okay, well now I'm really fucking scared to fuck this up. I have nothing to fall back on anymore. Yeah. So the first step is continuously putting myself in a position where I'm scared, and there's no other option. Another great thing that I did that I think helped me push through the valley of despair. And by the way, I want to set this very clear for everybody who's watching this right now. The valley of despair is not something that just simply goes away.
Yeah.
It's not. It's something that continuously evolves over and over and over again, and that valley grows longer and longer and longer. And I want you guys watching this to think that I'm like the I made it guy, because I'm really not. This is a $500 watch. This is not a Rolex. Like, I'm not that guy yet. It's a continuously I'm making it moment, right? So I want you to be able to listen to this from the frame of not some guy who's made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars talking down at you, from someone who's been in there and continues to be in there. And there are still days where that valley looks very long and very vast. But what happens next is I made promises to people. I removed the ability to let willpower do its thing.
Yeah.
Let me explain. Not only was I in a situation where I was so scared that I had no other option but to show up, I had now made commitments and promises to other people that I was going to make things happen. Right? So those two great things that anyone watching this can do to help remove willpower from the equation. Because when you have no other option, there is no other option. Right? It's like a caged animal who wants to get out. They'll do anything they can do to get out of there. And if you put a little bit of food in front of them, they're going to go crazy. That was me. I was going crazy. I was looking at my mom when I just dropped out of college and just lost my job, or I just quit my job. And by the way, I'm the entrepreneur who has been trying entrepreneurship for the last 6 years. I had an online clothing business. I did YouTube. I did almost all of it. Everything but pay attention in college, which is why I was 4 years in and had another 3 left to go. So no one had any reason to believe me. But when I looked at my mom, I said, Mom, like, I'm going to change our life forever. And at first she said, oh, yeah, okay, sure. And I said, no, I'm going to change our life forever. And continuously making those big promises to people, now it's bigger than me. Now it's bigger than I'm tired and I don't want to work anymore and I don't want to wake up. It's like, okay, but Mom's counting on me. But my wife is counting on me. But my best friend is counting on me now. Because I put myself in the box where I'm in the pinnacle of fear, where it doesn't work out. And now I'm a very like social individual when it comes to like, I want to, like when I was growing up, I really wanted to fit in all the time. I wanted to have a group of friends that I didn't really have much. And as I've grown older, obviously I've realized that I'm very, very much an outcast. I'm totally cool with that. I have like 2 really great friends. You're one of them. And what I realized is like, I can use that. I can use that wanting to fit in. I can use that to my advantage by making promises to these people. And then obviously, who wants to be friends with a liar, right?
Yeah,
Who wants to be married to a liar? That's the same thing I told my wife. I said, I'm going to wake up every single day at 5 a.m. for the next 30 days, and I'm going to study from 5 a.m. to 7. And so now I said, look, and I need you to understand something, Angie. If I don't do that, I am a liar. I am lying to you. And you made it very clear you don't want to be married to a liar, don't you? Yeah. So I want you to leave me if I don't do that. A high level of accountability in all areas. So I was scared. I set myself up where everyone around me was counting on me and believing in my back. And the third thing, brother, is kind of like what I talked about before. Completely removed willpower out of the equation. Set myself up in an opportunity zone where I had no choice. Cut off people so no one was inviting me out. There was no other option but to do the work. Removed distractions, sold the PlayStation, sold the Xbox, got rid of the fucking gaming systems, shut down like all the YouTube stuff, like just full focus, full tilt. Just bought a ton of books. I have a ton of books still that I haven't even read yet because I just bought so many because I was like, I have to surround myself in an environment where willpower is no longer an option. I'm the kind of person that if I sit down with a bag of chips, I'll eat the entire bag because I'm all in. I'm all in kind of person. Like I don't have very good self-control. Yep. And so people will hear that and think, well, how could you possibly become this hyper successful individual? Like in my opinion, I think extremely successful people our age. Yeah. Well, it's because I've removed the ability to let willpower come into play, right? I don't buy the chips at the store anymore. Just like I don't buy game systems anymore, right? Yeah. I have my YouTube algorithm set up so it's only educational stuff. I have books all around me. I'm protected of who I go out to eat with, of who I spend time with. If someone calls me and I don't want to call you, I'm not going to answer the phone. Yeah. Because right now I realize that I'm still in a position where I'm making it, right? And
Yep.
so my mental is very fragile still,
100%.
right? So those are the biggest three things: was scared, made promises, and protected my mental environment. So that way willpower didn't wasn't even a factor anymore.
Yeah.
Once you do those things and you get in the valley of despair, you have no option but to keep pushing, and you will eventually transcend. And here's
Yeah.
something cool, guys, I'll tell you. The valley sometimes will never go away. I've had moments where I've been out of the valley. I've had moments where I'm in the valley. What I've realized is the valley is always really going to be there. It just may be less shallow. It just may not hurt as bad. It may not feel as drastic as it did when you first started, but the valley will really always be there. So if you go ahead and you're getting in this business, whether you're a realtor or you're a new entrepreneur, and you're thinking, I can't wait for the day that everything makes sense and it's all fun, I'll go ahead and tell you that this is not going to be the business for you.
100%.
This is the kind of business where the valley will decrease. You will be able to see the end of it a little bit better. You will feel better. It will happen. But this is not the kind of business where you're going to be able to, at one point, turn the corner and it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. It just doesn't happen.
No.
That's how I've been able to push through it. Continuously in it. It's a continuous valley by choice. I mean, I could choose to live my life outside of the valley, but then I'd be breaking number one, which is putting myself in the zone where being scared to fail is more scary than showing up and doing the work. Right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be committing to the promises I make to people, because I make pretty fucking big promises to people.
You do.
Right?
You do.
And then
You do,
I'd
but you
probably
live up
end
to
up, I try my best to, man. And then I'd probably end up surrounding myself with lesser than mental framework people, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And I think to kind of tie into the next question would be like, how important do you think your environment is, and how much does that play into not only your success, but like, you know, the mental space that you're in, the activities that you do, like how, for the people out there too, that, you know, really feel like they're in such like a kind of a pit, right? And they feel like they just can't get out of it. And if they take a step outside and look at the people they surround themselves with, how much is that actually impacting them that they might not even realize?
Yeah. So look, man, I think our environment is extremely important. I mean, for the reasons that I've already said it, like I try to set my life up so things can be as easy as possible. And easy is like, you have to take that with a grain of salt, but I try to set it up so that way I never have the choice but to do the thing. So like I intentionally don't have a lot of friends. I intentionally, like I said, have books around me. I intentionally don't have the game systems. Like I intentionally don't go out. Because we all have been in a situation where we go out and we say, oh, I'm just going to have one drink and I'm just going to stay out till 11. And then like we start having a good time. People start vibing and they say, okay, we want to go to the next spot. And we're like, fine. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
That's willpower. You know, I read a book called The One Thing, and it's written by Gary Keller, but it's a very general entrepreneurship book as well. And it talked a lot about willpower, and it opened my eyes to the idea that willpower is not infinite, it's actually finite. And so when you think about it again, like the bag of chips, when was I most likely to eat the entire bag of chips? Well, in the evening.
Yeah.
After the decision fatigue was there, after I've had a long day, after I was stressed. When was I more likely to fall into the bad habits that I shouldn't be doing? Oh, in the evening. When the day is done, when I'm tired, when I have the time to actually sit down and rest, and now the willpower is depleted.
Yeah.
So for those people, I think like the environment you have to understand is either being controlled by yourself or it's controlling you. There really is no other answer to that. Your environment is either being controlled by you or it is simply controlling you. Because again, at the end of the day, when you've cold called all day and you know you should be reading a book, but your game system's right there and your boys text you say hop on the game, it's much easier to go hop on the game. So remove it.
Yep.
Tell your boys, I love you like brothers, but I'm here to change our lives right now. I need you guys to let me go change our lives right now. These are real conversations I had with people. I love you like a brother, but you're always talking what if, and I need to take some action right now. So we will talk in a few months when I can actually talk to people and not be influenced. Because I was super influenced by people. I was really into cars. I would go to a car show and then I want to spend all my money on my car again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I realize that my environment is controlling me right now.
Yeah.
The decisions I'm making are not mine. They're not my decisions. They're that friend's who's in the car's decision. It's that friend who wants to play video game. It's their decision. It's that parent that has their opinion of me. It's their decision. And I was like, wow, I'm really out of control in the sense that there is no control in my life.
Yeah.
So your environment is so important because, again, you have to set things up when you're, especially when you're beginning, guys. You need to understand how fragile things are, and you're in a different place in your career than someone, even like myself now. People like Alexis, people like Mike Sherrard, like you're in a different place in your career where your mental is still being molded. Think about your mind as wet clay, and your mind's the most important thing. Right now, you get to decide who molds your mind, and when you let other people into it, they're molding it the wrong way. At one point, you will be resilient enough, you will be strong enough, you will be able to go hang out with certain people, and they'll say certain things, and you just kind of go, that's not true. Yeah. But you won't buy into it. Like now, if I ever end up in a situation where I'm out, mostly like for like events, like we have like a lot of these wolf pack events, I'm usually out there. I don't drink, and I'm always the first one to go home. Because I don't mind. I don't mind now to be the guy who leaves first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you have to really protect who's around you. And again, a lot of people talk about the people, and a lot of people don't talk about the importance of everything else. The phone, the books, the video games. What websites are you on? Like, do you have? I had settings on my my Safari. I couldn't search certain things. Like it was full tilt, just locked in. I was in a box.
Yeah.
Was it? How do I put this? I want to put this so it doesn't scare people, but it was close to miserable. Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the reality.
Like, it was tough. You know, it was hard. There wasn't a lot of happy times, but what made me happy was understanding that what's working is working.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, once you do that for long enough and you really control this environment, then what happens is your environment, this is the crazy part, your environment starts confirming the bias. A great example of this is I went out to eat the other day with one of my friends, last night. And I'm crazy as fuck, guys. Like I talk like this everywhere I go. I'm super intense. I immediately have a hard time meeting people where they're at. Like I would just like start ripping high level entrepreneurship mindset stuff when someone's just getting started, and I can tell it's just like right over their head.
Yeah.
But what happened is I'm talking like this, and the waiter's coming, and I'm like chatting up with the waiter, and then he brings one bill and hands me the bill. Well, why did he do that? Because he could feel the energy that I'm the guy. He could feel the energy that I'm the guy who pays the bill. I'm the guy who does one tab. I don't split tabs, and he handed it to me. He didn't even say, "Are we doing this separate or together?" He bought one bill and handed it directly to me. And my friend was like, "Oh wow, like, why'd he give it to you? Like, let me take care of it." And I was like, "Well, first of all, I don't split bills. You know, you can get the next one if you want." But I was like, "Do you see what happened there?" He's like, "No, what do you mean?" I'm like, "The environment now just confirmed the bias in my head that I'm the guy. The environment just confirmed it because of the energy, the way I'm speaking, the way I'm talking, the way I'm carrying myself, the way didn't think to himself, oh, who's the guy who's going to pay the bill? He thought, that's for sure the guy who's paying the entire bill. Not even a point in asking. 100% confident that that's the person.
Yeah.
So once you control your environment long enough, and it no longer has control of you, that's when the cool stuff starts happening like that, where you really get the confirmation bias that like, okay, this is working. The friends hit you up and they say, man, you really been doing the shit you talked about a couple years ago. You're really doing it now. Yeah. That's the best part, when you finally get the feeling of like it makes sense to people now, because I really am. I care about people a lot, and so like when people are like, wow, like you this makes sense. This makes sense why you had to go that route. You know, that's a really powerful feeling, and I would urge everyone to control your environment long enough until it just gives you signs that what you're doing is working.
Yeah, I think that's beyond tactical. I think everyone needs to take that, obviously, that advice with a grain of salt. Everybody's in a different position, but they're,
of course,
you know, there's
small things though, Luke. You know, like those small things you can do. Bro, books are super fucking cheap, and if you're in a position where you can't afford books, it's not an excuse because YouTube's free. And I'm also like, bro, super dyslexic and ADHD, so I audiobook and have like I'm rereading The Science of Getting Rich right now.
It's a great book.
My bookmarker is a debit card because money's not real to me, you know.
Exactly.
So I didn't mean to just drop that bomb on here. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But you know, it's free, bro. It's free to self-educate. Really, it is. And of course, you get what you pay for. which is why something like the Wolfpack is so great, because we offer all this education for free, and high-level education at that. But at the very foundation, whether you're a brand new agent or you're just a new entrepreneur and you stumbled upon this, there's no excuse but to not educate yourself. I watched
100%.
podcasts, I read books, and that set the foundational work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think
100%.
yes, you have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to realize where you're at right now in your career and in your life. But
Yep.
there's no reason to not cut people off who don't make sense. We all know it. We all know it deep down. There's no reason to not self-educate, and there's no reason to regulate your environment.
Yeah, not at all. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for anybody, no matter where they're at. Especially if they have big goals like you've set for yourself. Like the only way you're going to achieve that is stepping outside the comfort zone. I think we say it so many times in our chat. We say it so many times on our posts, but there's absolutely no growth that comes within that comfort zone. And you don't even realize it till you step outside. Like I was as comfortable as I've ever been in Tampa. I reached a ceiling for like 2 years. I was just pedaling my wheel. I wasn't the same thing as you, man. Entrepreneur, started 3 different businesses, was juggling 3 different things. And then I came down, met you guys in Miami, and that's when I realized, look, I need to put myself in this room, put myself around these people, and that's when true change is going to happen. And now 3-4 months later, I've never felt more confident in not only my abilities but myself as a man. So
Exactly,
I think that's fantastic advice. And that kind of leads into my next question too, man, is like the delusion that you kind of have to have as, you know, high earners, like high income individuals, just people who you almost, and I think you can reemphasize on this, but like you have to believe you already have it before you even have it, right? You have to act like the individual who's already making the 6 figures plus while you only have $20 in the bank account. Like how important is that?
Oh man, it's super important. Here's the truth, bro. Like a lot of people say, like fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. And I think the better statement is like other people's perception of you will soon become your reality.
Yeah.
So say it again. Other people's perception of you will soon become your reality.
Yep.
So what would the high earner do when he goes out to dinner? Would he split the bill, or would he say, no, I got the bill?
Yeah.
He'd say, I got the bill.
Yep.
What would the high earner do when he has the opportunity to go out or stay in and work? Oh, I got to stay in and work.
Yeah.
And this is where the environment starts confirming the bias again. Well, now it no longer becomes delusion, and it becomes, okay, this is actually real. Because you have to be delusional. I did a training at my brokerage on cold calling and objection handling when I had 1 listing, because I was so just eroding with fucking confidence. Like, they thought I was the guy. No one knew that I only had 1 listing. And I had like 14 people there, like 5 people on Zoom. At my brokerage, and I said, I'm the top listing agent in the world. I'm the number 1 listing agent in the world right now, and reality just hasn't caught up to me yet. And to be able to say that in front of a group of people who have been in the industry for 20 years, 30 years, some of them are looking at me like, yeah, all right, man. Like, you know how long it took for us to even get here? And I'm like, I'm making the most amount of money. I'm helping the most amount of families. I'm the top guy in the world. And you just walk around with your chest out and you say that enough, all of a sudden the waiter will start handing you the bill. And then it's confirmed. Okay, no, wait, I am him. I actually am now. So you have to be delusional. You have to talk, but like it's one thing to be delusional here, but if you're not saying the words to people, it won't matter, which is why the second point of what I had to say, which is making the big promises to people, is so important.
Yeah.
Because now again, it's like it's bigger than you. Now you're including other people in there. You're saying, no, I'm going to make it happen. You have to continuously speak what you say is going to happen into existence. People are going to look at you like you're crazy. People are going to look at you like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. People are going to look at you and say, do you know how long it took me to even get to this level? And you're saying you're going to do it in 2 years?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it in 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
A great example of this, again, is when I first got my real estate license, I had an old beat-up Infiniti at the time. And I was in California with my grandma, who's been a realtor for, I don't know, 30 years or so.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 years. And I was walking to eat dinner with her, and I was walking with her, and I said, Grandma, you see that Lexus? I want one of those Lexuses. I want a Lexus before I turn 24. And she said, oh, that's nice, James. It took me 15 years to get my first Lexus. I said, no. I mean, Grandma, I'm going to have one before I turn 24. And sure enough, I bought a Lexus at 23. And the Lexus is not a Lambo, bro, but it is a representation of the power of our mind. Yeah. I had just gotten my real estate license. Not 2 years later, what I had said had become a reality. And I didn't even remember this story until a couple months back. I bought my Lexus in the beginning of the year, beginning of 2025. I hadn't even remembered the story until it just clicked like a couple months ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, bro. That was a
Yeah,
real confirmation bias of like the words we say really fucking matter.
yeah,
They
man.
really fucking matter.
They really
So
do.
you have to be delusional and you have to speak those big things into existence, but you have to believe it. You really have
Yeah.
to believe it, you know? Because people can
100%,
tell
man.
when you just say stuff, but people can look at you in the eyes and they can really fucking tell when you say it, and they can look at you in the eyes and feel your energy and feel your passion, and they'd be like, okay, this guy really means what the fuck he says, you know?
100%. And that's gonna be most people watching this podcast about you, man. They're gonna understand. Like, there's just a level that you
Hopefully.
speak at that. No, it's 100% because even I mean, I met you for the first time in person down in Miami, and I knew instantly that
Yeah.
you were legit. Like, you were a legit individual. I mean, I thought
Thank you,
you were
bro.
like. Not even by the way you look, but the way you act. I thought you were like a 30-plus-year-old man, that's already been through all of these trials and tribulations. You have been through all the trials and tribulations, but you're only 24 years old, almost 25
24,
now?
yeah.
Yeah,
24.
man. And it's like it's insane to talk to you sometimes. And even at the dinner that we had down here with TJ at that little a steakhouse or tavern or whatever that was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we were just sitting there having just a real genuine conversation. You could feel the energy. You can feel how passionate you are, not only about your goals, but having other people achieve the success that they want to achieve too.
Bro, it means everything to me, bro. I'm really
Yeah.
big on helping people. One of my first jobs growing up was a skateboard coach.
Yep.
So I'd help teach people how to skateboard.
Yeah.
Like I really do care about people, bro, a lot. And
Yep.
hopefully, it comes across the right way, and I really
Mm.
care, and like I want to see my people win too. And even
Yeah.
if you're not my people, like I still want to see you win. I
100%.
really have turned a corner on that. I used to be, hold grudges. I had a lot of people who did me wrong on the way up.
Yeah,
But
man.
now I'm like, bro, I just really want to see them win. Because now that I've had a taste, and again, remember, I'm not this guy all the way up here yet. I think I've had some good success with people my age, and I get to live a pretty amazing life. But the reality is like that feeling is so sick, bro. The feeling
Yeah.
of having the waiter come just give you the check and it's all
Yeah.
in one is so sick, bro. That
Yeah,
now
it
I
is.
just wish everyone could feel that. I want everyone
Yeah.
to feel what it feels to be the guy.
Yeah. I
And
think.
so whether you did me wrong or not, like I want you to feel this, bro. And that's what
Yeah.
I want everyone who's watching this to feel like that. I want you to really buy into this stuff because you
Yep.
have to be. You have to be. I'm brainwashed, 100%. I am 100% brainwashed.
Yeah.
And if you stick around me long enough, I'll brainwash you too. That you're the guy.
Yeah, 100%. And you've done that with me, man. I mean, I came to you guys as a lost soul, man. I had no idea what I was doing in life. I thought I knew what I was doing, right? I had five
Yeah.
different things going on. I maybe thought I was the man in some type of aspect because I was in a comfort zone, and I come down to Miami and I see there's guys actually out here like you, like Alexis, like even like Brandon, that are doing
Yeah.
way, way bigger things at such a higher level. And it makes you really take a step back and be like that, those are the guys, and that's what I want to be like. So I feel like, yeah, man, the confirmation bias is true, man. It all comes back around. You just got to keep putting the work in.
That's it, bro.
And like with being the CEO now, obviously, CEO is a big title and all that. Like,
Yeah.
people see CEO, but what do you feel like, people really don't see that's going on in the background?
I mean, bro, the hardest thing that people don't see that's going on in the background is paying people more than I pay myself, having to fire people, having to make
Yeah.
really big executive decisions to change things that have been set in stone for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
we're in a position too where like most people think CEO and they think Fortune 500 company,
Yeah.
thousands of employees. Like, see, the titles are really ambiguous to me because it's really nothing. Like,
Yeah.
CEO is cool to say, it's fun to say, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's like I'm just running a fucking business here, And
100%.
Alexis is my partner, and he knows his role, and I know my role.
Yep. Yep.
His role is to make the content, show up and do the coaching, and my role is to take care and make sure we move forward.
Yep.
And so the hardest things that people need to understand is that if you want to have a bbig business, you got to be able to put out big bills. You
Yep.
got to. You can't
Yep.
be scared when the bill comes.
Yep.
What's the saying? People they beg to be fed and then complain that their plate's full. Your plate's gonna be full, guys. It's gonna be full.
man.
Whether you're a realtor or whether you want to build a big business elsewhere, I'm telling you guys, like, you can't be scared when it comes to cut the check. You can't be scared when it comes time to invest in your education. You can't be scared when it comes time to get the right supplies, do the right things. You can't be scared when it comes time to hire the right person who will triple your income.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest decisions that I think people don't realize that it takes.
Yeah.
is you just have to have a gut of steel, bro, and be able to just know that I've backed myself so long up to now
Yep.
that when I get a cut a check and it takes the accounts in the red, like I can get it back up easy
Yeah.
because I gotta do what I gotta do. And if
Yeah.
I obviously know that having people around me like yourself and the rest of our team and having all people at EXP like and all people in our academy is so important that I'll always prioritize them over my own personal gain. And
Yeah.
I think at one point, you know, that's why I'll gain more than most people
100%.
because I do prioritize other people first. And if you're a realtor, that's the same thing. Like you need to prioritize your clients over your commission. And when I was doing real estate and I was producing, that's what I would do too. And I would lose deals and I would win other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone who wants to walk away from that is not a client that you want anyway.
Yeah.
Just like anyone who
100%.
wants to walk away from what I have to offer is not a teammate I want anyway. It's not a
Yeah.
team member that I even want on the team to begin with.
100%.
Right? Because I know what I offer, and I know what we bring, and I know I'm willing to make the hard decisions when it comes down to it,
Yeah.
and to put people in a better position because I love them. You
Yeah.
know, like if I let go of someone, it's not because you're not doing a good job. It's because like you can do better at other places right now, and this
100%.
is keeping you comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I need to let you go so you can really grow, so you can really feel what it's like to be the guy.
Yeah, I think, and that's what a lot of people don't see when they think of CEO. They don't realize all of the, not even the responsibilities, but the tough decisions that come with that daily. I mean, you literally have to wake up every day and make tough decisions that not only impact your life, the business, but other people's well-being as well.
Life, bro.
Yeah, and I think honestly, from the most biased perspective that I have working with, I mean, you've done a fantastic job of that. We've obviously been through a lot of ups and downs, and we've been through the trenches, and we know what it's like. But you've put everybody around you in the best place possible to succeed. And now we're going into 2026 with the most momentum I think we've ever had. Maybe not financially, but like mentally, man. I think we're all in such a great mental space. And I think we all understand what the vision is. And that only comes down to because of everything that you've done for us and the people at the academy. So I think that's fantastic, bro. Last thing I'll kind of ask you, man, to wrap it up, and this is what I like to ask anybody, is what advice would you give to yourself, you know, maybe 3-4 years ago, first starting out? Like, obviously you're in a whole different position now. You've been through a lot. Like, what would you tell your younger self?
I think that the biggest thing I would tell myself, man, is that you can really make it happen.
Yeah.
Like you can really make it happen, man. Because I know that there's people out there who get told that, and I was told that my whole life. You can do whatever you want, but like you can really fucking make it happen, dude. Like it doesn't have to be you can do whatever you want as long as you go to college. It doesn't have to be you can do whatever you want as long as you get a good high-paying job. It's like you can really make whatever is in your heart happen. Because I was the kind of person, bro, that my little flame of entrepreneurship was almost blown out multiple times by people close around me.
Yeah.
Because I was almost like, you know what, maybe it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And so just going back, you know, even 3 or 4 years, bro, and just saying, look, this is for you. This is for you. The other side of this is so good.
Yeah.
You know, you can really just do it. You just have to wake up, put one foot in front of the other every single day.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say to anyone who's newer, you know, and anyone who's just getting started on this journey is like, you can really make this shit happen.
Yeah.
Like it's not fugazi. I know it looks crazy online when you see people on the Miami Gurus and all this shit showing off and everything, but like it is real. Like there are people who make this happen, and you could easily be one of them. You just have to put in the work every single day and show up and put yourself in the opportunity zone.
Yeah. That's fantastic, bro. I think a lot of people need to really take that and really utilize it, right? Because obviously you can sit here and listen to this, and you've obviously given a lot of tactical knowledge, but you've given a lot of base knowledge as well for even someone that's just starting out that can really implement what you're saying. And I think anybody listening to this, and you're in the position where whether you're just starting out, whether you're in that valley of despair where you feel like, you know, you don't see the light yet, bro, everything and anything is possible. It all comes from within. I really truly believe that, man. Like, we have the universe at our hands, and everybody's reality is their own reality. You make your own reality. You really do. And I know that, you know, may sound woo woo and all that, but you'll start to really realize it when the changes start to occur and you start to really put the work in. And I think, yeah, and I would say the same thing for myself. Like I would look back and I would just tell myself, like, look, it's possible, man. It really is. And I was in the same position, man. Like so many people try to dwindle my light because of, I wasn't seeing the success that I wanted to see. So they were just like, go take the easy path, go back to college, do this and that. And it's like, I could have done that. There's multiple times where I could have laid everything down, closed out the business accounts, liquidated, and just went back to college. But like you said, bro, there's just something inside that that you're just meant for a higher purpose, man.
Yeah. Can I read you something real quick?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So I was rereading this book last night, right? And something I stumbled across something here that I think is really important, and I'm gonna read it to you right now. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Doing what you want to do is life, and there is no real satisfaction in living if we are compelled to forever do something which we do not like to do and can never do what we want to do. And it is certain that you can do what you want to do. The desire to do it is proof that you have within you the power which you can do it. Desire is a manifestation of power. The desire inside of you is enough to prove that you can do it.
That's it.
That's what I would have told myself.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to wrap it up right there. That's so amazing. I think, yeah, the desire, man. That's all it comes down to, man. If you want it and you can just see it up here, man. Even if it's a little glimpse, bro, it's possible. I promise you. And yeah, anybody that's listening to this, man, anything that you want to do is so possible. Mm-hmm. And one thing I'll leave it off with, and this is something that I learned a while ago, is like it's a Japanese philosophy called Kaizen, right? Yeah. And it's so simple. It's literally just talks about getting 1% better every day, because so many people think that this is a sprint, right? We all look at Instagram, we see the people like TJR, all those people who seem to be these, overnight successes, and they made it so fast, they're so young. But everybody is on a different path, and even Nipsey said, bro, it's a marathon. It's not a race, it's a marathon. It really is, man. And I think if you can just endure through those first couple miles, man, afterwards you'll start to see, man, it really does get easier. It really does. I know it may sound so delusional to some people that it gets easier, but it really truly does, man. You just have to keep pushing. Yeah. Simple.
Yeah. Like I said, the valley will get shallower, it will get shorter, and it won't happen overnight, and then overnight it will happen.
Yeah, no, 100%, man, 100%. Like I said, bro, I appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your day, man. You're not only one of my closest friends, closest colleagues, but you're a mentor, man. I look up to you in so many ways, not only as a businessman, but as a man, bro. And like I said, I appreciate you so much, and yeah, man, let's keep rocking 2026.
Of course, yeah. And I would say, last thing to anybody else, if anyone wants to ever chat, feel free to hit us up. I know Luke will put my stuff down in the description as well. Yep. My Instagram's open, DMs are open. And if anyone ever wants to talk about what we do over here at the Wolfpack, feel free to let us know as well. We have a lot of amazing free resources for people.
So much.
Just to try to help, man. Because like I said, I pour my heart into you guys, and that's all I really want to do. So I'm always available for anyone who needs anything.
Yes, sir, man. I'll link everything below for you guys. If you guys, like I said, reach out to either one of us. We all have an immense amount of resources that we're able to give you, no matter what point in life you are, what point in real estate you are. We're here to help. 100%.
Yep. 100%.
Let's get it, man.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having me, bro.
Of course, bro.